Hey, so today I'm going to tackle the second phase of the ambient lighting project on the XFR. If you guys watched my previous video, I'll put a link at the end of this video to that video. But in that first video, I did the ambient lighting on the dash and the footwells. So today I want to do the door cards, and I'd like some lighting to go underneath here and over here. But I'll show you guys what I mean now. So for this project, what I plan on doing is putting the EL lighting across the wood strip over here. So it's going to go all the way to the end of the wood strip. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I don't just want to take it from here where the car's OEM ambient lighting ends and then take a strip across, because that's going to look silly. So I'll just take it all the way across, and then it should look unified. And the reason I'm actually doing that is because the rear doors have no ambient lighting in here whatsoever. So I have to run a strip all the way along the wood over here, and I don't want it to look silly comparing the front to the rear. So for that reason, I'm just going to run it all along there and then let it end. And I'm hoping that it's going to be concealed enough for people not to actually see it when they're sitting in the car, kind of like from this angle. So hopefully one won't be able to see the lighting shining in your face. First thing we've got to do over here is just to get this trim cover off, and it just clips out. That's what it looks like. And inside here we have a Torx 20. It shouldn't be very tight, so I'm just going to loosen it by hand. And it's a Torx 20 screw. There are two Torx 20 screws on the door pad. There's one in the door handle, which we'll see later. And that is what this screw looks like. Now in the door handles we have these covers over here. And there's one on this side and one on the other side. You just need to get a little screwdriver in there and unclip them. And then we just get our T30 in there. You can feel when it's loose, and just leave it there when it's undone. Now you'll see behind the door handle, a lot of people want to get a screwdriver in there and then they want to pop it out. But the fact is, this thing turns, and you've got to keep turning it until it reaches a point where the little clip reaches the gap. And that's the gap that people think they've got to, stick a screwdriver in. And when it reaches that gap, it'll pop off. And I usually use some silly putty. I just stick it on the end of the screwdriver like that, and then get it on there, turn it, and it pops off. And now we have revealed our last T20. Now most of these screws should be hand tight. They shouldn't be very tight, because we have plastic components that they're screwing into. So never over tighten these, just tighten them until they stop. This is the removal tool that I use, and you can see I've put some felt on there so that it can't damage the paint on the car. There we go. Okay, that one is loose. Now we'll just do the ones at the bottom. And I see our bolts have come loose over here as well. Honestly, it sounds like you're breaking it, but you're not. So looking at the door card, this is the ambient lighting that's currently fitted to the car, and our window switches are down here. And so I need to tap into these two wires here. Red will be live and ground will be black. I've had a look at the whole door panel, and I don't think I'm going to be able to put ambient lighting in the pocket, because this is all sealed and the only way to get in there is to drill a hole. I'm not quite sure about that. So what I'm going to do in the meanwhile, I'm going to get my EL lighting in here in the meantime. I borrowed my cat's blankie to do this. So this is the EL lighting over here, and I can't even remember where I bought these, because I bought some on AliExpress and I bought some on eBay, but they're pretty much all the same. Just make sure you buy the one that must be hardwired to the car and not one that has a USB connector. So this is your little AC converter, converts DC to AC, and we need to find a place on the door card where we can actually stick this thing, so when we put it back onto the car, it isn't getting in the way of something else behind the door card, and that is completely out the way, where it's also not going to cause any rattles or anything like that. So it does have two little holes there, so you can actually screw it onto your door card, and I might just do that just to make sure it never ever comes loose. So this is my EL lighting here, and this is my plug that I want to get through that little hole. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the EL lighting through the hole, because I actually don't know how this thing unclips. So I'm just going to run my EL lighting through the hole. There's a little hole there, and bring it through the bottom. It's going to be the easiest way, since the EL lighting is more malleable than the plug. And we'll just pull it all the way through. Until we have our plug. We're going to cut most of this off anyway, because I only need what I need. And the nice thing is the wiring is right there. So there we go. And I think that's good enough. So there's my plug, and the EL lighting is now on this side of the door card. I'm just going to flip it around. So it seems to be working very, very well, wedging it into the wood trim. Now don't look at the condition of our wood trim, it's very dirty. I haven't cleaned the door cards for a while, and I knew I'd be doing this job, so for that reason I just haven't done that. And I will clean everything off nicely once I'm done. Now the rear doors are going to be a bit of a problem, because I'm going to have to find a way to get that plug through the door card, and that might mean drilling a little hole in order to get the EL lighting through. And I'll try and do it in pretty much the same way I've just done this. So instead of taking the plug through the hole, I'll take the EL lighting through the hole. And this is working very, very well. I'm very, very happy with this. And it's looking really, really neat. I just need to cut it here at the end now. We just use a pair of scissors. So I think there is going to be a good cut. So it goes all the way to the end. I'm just going to use my fingers to get it wedged in there good and proper. For now I'm going to give up on the EL lighting in the storage bin. I might consider that as another project in the future, but I don't think it's something I'm going to tackle right now. And we can put it there. We can actually even put it here closer to the speaker. There's nothing by the speaker, so I could put it there. The only problem is I can't screw it in, because this is actually right through to the door card. So any screws I put in there are going to come through the other side, and I don't want to risk that. I think if I put it there, we will have ample wire to reach this wire over here. Now, in order to tap into this, I'm just going to unclip this switch from the door. Yeah, I think this is going to be a good place to tap into. Now we already have a little bit of black tape on here, so I'm going to put my own black automotive tape on there as soon as I get these wires connected. Right, so this is just a rough connection for now. I've connected my transformer to the wires that connect to the EL lighting, and now I'm going to connect the transformer to the EL lighting itself. And it goes this way around. And then I'm just going to quickly plug this plug onto the car and see if it works. So just to show you guys, it is working. And there you can actually see the OEM lighting as well as mine, but mine runs all the way to the end. What I've done is I've buttoned up my cabling over here, and here you can see my transformer is coming now from the wires that lead to the ambient lighting, and all I've done is I've stuck some double-sided tape onto the back of my transformer, and I'm going to stick the transformer to the door pad now. And what I'm doing is I'm going to be doing it right in, I'm going to be putting it right in here because it's going to be out of the way over there. And what I'm using is I'm using this gel tape. It's a clear tape that you use, and this stuff becomes a bond between the two surfaces that you are mating. So when you stick something on, there is no way it's going to come loose. There's just no way. I don't want this cable flapping around in the door card while I'm driving, because we don't want to create any rattles in the car. So for that reason, I'm just going to do that and tape this down like that, and in there like that. What I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to just unclip this one over here, and I'm going to run this cable in underneath this clip so that it's actually clipped in as well, and it can't create any rattles when I'm driving. So now I'll just pull that through like that and get that over there, and then I'm going to route this through there and tuck it in behind this one over there. I've just finished fitting the one on the passenger door, and I just want to show you guys how I've wired it all up. Pretty similar to the driver's door, but there's just less plugs on this one than there are on the driver's door. So here my wire comes out, my EL lighting, so it just comes out of that hole where the car's OEM ambient lighting is, and there's my cable coming around here, and I've stuck the transformer over here, and the wiring for the transformer runs all around the speaker grill, and I've actually just taped it down over there with some automotive tape so that it doesn't come loose and it doesn't rattle. And then the transformer plug plugs into the EL light over here. So this little plug cannot move and it cannot rattle either. And that one's wire runs all the way down here back to the transformer. So I've just, wedged them in there, and I've used some automotive tape to tape them onto the side of the speaker grill over there. When I stuck the EL lighting in here, I actually used my trim tool and I really wedged it deep, deep, deep in behind the wood trim. And you can't even see it actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same on the, you can see there it comes out over there and it goes into the hole. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same on the driver's side, because the driver's side is actually sticking out in this groove. I'm just wedging this light literally behind the wood and wedging it in there. And if I just go across like this, it's just sticking it in there and making sure that it kind of looks like a hue coming from behind the wood trim. And that's actually what I want. There we go. I have to cut the video short there. It's taken me 3 hours to do this, and unfortunately I don't have enough time to do the rear doors. So I'm going to do the rear doors in a different video. So stay tuned for that. And the rear doors are going to be a bit of a challenge, and that's why I did the front doors first, because there is no ambient lighting in the rear door. And for that reason, I actually have to have the plug for the EL lighting between the actual door itself and the door card. So if ever somebody removes the door card, they actually have to unplug the EL lighting, whereas with this setup they don't have to do that. They just have to pull out the OEM plug and you can remove the door card. But it's going to be a different scenario with this, and for that reason I need more time to do the rear doors. And it's really strange because the ambient lighting for the rear doors, I mean the wood is this long on the rear doors. So a little bit of light, a lot of trouble. The next video is probably not going to be the EL lighting. It's probably going to be me wrapping my mirrors, because like I told you guys in my mirror video when I fitted the carbon fiber mirrors, I broke the clip on this mirror here, and this mirror is actually held on with Velcro right now, and it almost blew off on the freeway the other day. I tried to get hold of the seller is not interested. He basically showed me the finger. So I don't really have a choice. I'm going to have to take the carbon fiber mirrors off the car and put my OEM mirror covers back. And when I do that, I'm going to wrap them in gloss black wrap. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. Cheers. Bye.